Hi Jose. Hi Michael. Hi Cam. Bye Cam. Hi. Yeah, y'all. It's a book club. It's book club. So yeah, this week it's gonna be a lot of Higurashi. Just because I just like, man, this one chapter week's kind of slow, and then some weeks we didn't even get to it. So I'm like, fuck it, all Higurashi this week. Every day we do a Higurashi. It's good shit. Good shit. And if we all remember, things were starting to get kind of funky, a little bit quirky last chapter. Reina was finally starting to have a little bit of a breakdown, you know, because she figured out, or she realized that the girl her dad's dating is not a very good person, and she has every right to be upset about this, and she is going to take matters into her own hands. We love to hear it. You love to see it. So, I'm just going to get right into it. Yeah. This music. Oh, you're talking about Kasai-san? Oh shit, wait. Oh, you're talking about Kasai-san? That's Shion's watchdog. Her watchdog? Really? Yeah, he is. Shion tends to do some crazy things, so she needs to have someone to watch her all the time. I think you're as crazy as Shion.
Keiichi couldn't cut into the conversation. They ended up making a lot of noise, teasing each other like they always do. Nyon made it sound like that man, Kasai-san, is some sort of territory boss in Okinomiya. It wouldn't be easy for me to meet him in person, but because he's Shi-chan's watchdog, I might be able to find a way. The problem, though, is that I don't have any connection to Shi-chan either. We hang around every once in a while she comes to Hinamizawa, but I've never really called or visited her. I have no idea how we can meet. Even if I could meet Kasai-san, there's no guarantee that he'd help me. He seems like the kind of person who doesn't like to gossip about others. He told me about Rina-san at the coffee house only because Shi-chan pushed him to. Plus, the situation has grown worse very quickly while I waited for the chance to meet him, so any help he might offer may come too late. I remember Kasai-san told me that as her next step, Rina-san usually uses her partner to threaten their catch. That would signify the end of her performance. They were going to take all of my father's money. I wasn't feeling any sense of crisis yet, but the time might be coming very soon.
You gotta go, alright, thanks for stopping by, Michael. Have a good day, night, evening, whatever it is. Bye.
Even as I was at school, taking a class peacefully, that man might already be at the house right at this moment, threatening my father to hand over his paint books. Once I become anxious, I get more and more anxious. I could feel a big pressure in my chest as the ceiling had collapsed on me.
Man, I'm so bored. My life is too peaceful. Fuck. Read the room, Keiichi.
Keiichi talks to me, yawning. Is that so bad? I'd love to have a peaceful life that'd bore me.
I don't. I wish I could have some kind of big event happen, like aliens coming to attack or something. I'm not saying that it'd have to be something like every week, but at least every month, end of the month or so. You're really tempting me here, Keiichi, right? Oh, but that doesn't include our monthly test.
If aliens really did come, destroyed the Earth, and burned all of Hinamizawa, would you be satisfied? Would you?
No, that's not what I meant. I'm just saying that I want for some kind of excitement because I'm so bored.
He had no idea what I've been going through, of course, and that's why he always says that. But I was still irritated at his insensitivity. I couldn't understand why he wouldn't be satisfied with such a peaceful life. He never has to doubt that today and tomorrow will be as fun as yesterday. It was all too aware that boring and peaceful days could be destroyed all of a sudden. I knew that boring and peaceful days could come to an end, and all of a sudden, just because your mom wanted to divorce your dad. I knew that you could feel like that because you didn't belong anywhere in your own house because your dad had gotten a new girlfriend. Even so, I had to repeat the same kind of day over and over again. That's why I want to live every day happily in order to be prepared for when the world comes to an end.
I'm jealous of you, you know? You look so happy all the time. I wish I had that kind of skill.
You're jealous of me?
Huh? How'd you do it? How do you live every day not being bored, being happy? If it really is a skill, I'd love to learn how.
That's easy. All you need to do is realize.
Realize what?
There's no way he could realize it. And it was probably better that he didn't, because that meant he was truly happy. You just need to realize that your happy days will one day come to an end. The three of us walked home from school like we always did. Michan said goodbye to us at the corner of the street where she took her separate way home. She walked away waving, but I chased after her. Michan! Eh? What? Michan apparently thought she dropped something, and she looked around to see what she dropped. I almost forgot to tell you. I saw Shi-chan and Kasai-san yesterday at a coffee house, and I picked up something that Kasai-san dropped while he was there. Of course he hadn't dropped anything. I was lying. If I could meet him, I'd just show him whatever, tell him I thought it was his and apologize for the mistake. Oh, well thank you then. I'll send it over to him in that case. I'd like to give it back to him in person. Huh? Michan looked surprised. I couldn't blame her. I'd met him only once. It's weird to want to give something back in person to someone you barely know.
Well, that's all right, but why?
Oh, he had this cute beard and these cute sunglasses. I'm just crazy about cute things, so... Could I fudge my true intentions with my cute mode? I tried anyway. Michan usually takes words at their face value, and indeed she seemed to buy it.
Please don't pull out his beard and take it home with you.
So, do you think I could meet him?
Well, I have an idea if he's busy or not. I'll ask him when he's coming to Hinamizawa next.
I needed to know when it would be as soon as possible. Of course, I wasn't going to say I wanted to meet him today, but at least tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
What are you guys doing?
It seems like Reina found a new love. No.
Really? Nah, that's interesting. I want to hear about it too.
I didn't want her to leave it up in the air, so I told her. I think I should give it back to him as soon as possible. I'm sure he's looking for it too. Michan said okay twice and walked away waving. I hadn't yet thought about how I was going to ask for help when I would meet him. He seems to be in a higher position than Rina-san and her partner. If he agreed to help me, it would be very encouraging. But there was a possibility that he'd tell me he didn't want to interfere in other people's private matters. He could just say the whole thing was another love triangle between a father, his daughter, and his lover.
Bye, Reina. See you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. I said goodbye to Keiichi-kun and walked home alone. After Keiichi-kun was gone, everything went quiet, and my head became clear. What I needed at that moment was quiet time to think about what I should do from then on. I shouldn't depend on Kasai-san to solve my problem. He'd most likely decline my request, so I'll have to think about some alternatives. It's probably better that I do just that. A love triangle between father, his daughter, and his lover. Those words bothered me, because I'd seen an unhappy triangle like that before. That sort of thing had happened to Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun experienced it last year. He fought for his sister in a triangle with his aunt. It was the same situation as mine. I'm trying to fight to protect my father. Satoshi-kun fought alone. Nobody helped him. All I did for him was give him my sympathy and compassion. I didn't think I could do anything more than that. I felt sorry for him, but I didn't really want to help him out. Irresponsibly. I tried to cheer him up, and I probably told him something that I thought would make him feel better, but probably hurt him instead.
Hi, Clarity. Welcome in. Welcome in.
I recently realized how much I hurt with my insensitivity, because Keiichi just hurt me the same way. I'm going down the same path as Satoshi-kun went down last year. I feel like I'm experiencing deja vu, an unusual repetition. Would that mean that I'd be the one who gets demoned away this year? I should be okay. I wasn't thinking about running away from Hinamizawa. Was I? I wasn't thinking about running away from Hinamizawa, but I thought about running away from home many times. That's why I made the place I could escape to in the garage dump. That dump happened to be in Hinamizawa. But what if it wasn't? Running there would be the same thing as running away from Hinamizawa. No, I shouldn't think like that. Oyashiro-sama will get mad at me. Oyashiro-sama is really scary. I saw flickering lights in my head. Oh no. Every time I tried to remember that time, my mind would stop working properly. I remembered the vivid colors of my psychoactive drugs. The flickering lights and clouds started spreading in my head. They were so bright and annoying. Don't try too hard to remember. Don't try too hard to remember. No. I couldn't stop thinking the flickering lights in my head. I couldn't have that feeling. I had to fill my heart with another feeling. Yeah, there was no time for these crazy flickering lights in my head. I had to think about what I should do when Kasai-san declined my request to help. I had to protect my father from Rina-san and that bad man. Wait, why was I still calling her that? Rina is Rina. Rina. She's a bad person who deceived my father and tried to bring us unhappiness. Bad people bring bad things into the world without even doing anything. They're different from the other 90% of people who aren't bad. If you let them loose, they'll ruin everything for the people around them. When you have one bad tangerine in a box, it spreads its fungus to the other tangerines around it. That's what bad people are like.
Hi, Antimatter. Welcome in. Welcome.
I couldn't remember how Satoshi-kun resolved his triangle last year. Oh, but I could still see the flickering lights in my head. They're still flickering. They are still flickering. They're still flickering. They're still flickering. They're still flickering. They're still flickering.
Sorry, shit. Yippee. Yeah.
Just as the swirl of the flickering lights were making me dizzy, I saw my house. I also saw Rina-san's scooter parked by the side of the gate. The moment I saw the bike, the flickering lights disappeared, and I regained control of myself. Rina-san spent the night last night. She told me she had to work today in the evening, so she should be leaving soon. I didn't want to be around her, even for a little while until she left. I said I'm home, real loud, rushed into the house, pretended that my friends were waiting outside, and rushed back out of the house. But Rina-san stopped me. Hey, Rina-chan, you're home. Hello. This was the first time I thought Rina-san's smile was ugly. It only stood to reason. I had realized the scheme she was hiding behind that smile.
Your father and I went to Gogura for lunch today. There's a restaurant there that makes really delicious Indian curry.
My father poked his head out of the living room, and he says, I want to go there again and get next time we go. I really like that curry. I wondered if he meant with me next time or with me and her. Anyway, I hate it when Rina-san says, your father.
We brought some curry home from the restaurant. You should try it later. It's really good. Have you heard of that restaurant, Rina-chan?
I did know the restaurant she was talking about. I saw it in a magazine. It's a new restaurant that just opened recently. I also remember that it was an expensive restaurant. The amount of money they spent on take-home curry alone must have been enough to cover the cost of all our dinners for several nights. Since I was aware that it was on the bank books, it was hard for me to stay calm. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Rina-san.
Rina-chan, your father and I would like to talk to you about something.
I'm sorry, but my friends are waiting for me, so I have to go. Oh, we're gonna go treasure hunting at the garbage dump again.
You really like treasure hunting, huh? I'd like to go there sometime.
Well, I gotta go. Bye.
Every time Rina-san moved her arms or her head, the scent of her perfume would struck my nostrils. I hate the smell of her perfume. I couldn't stay there for a second longer. I rushed out of the house and started running to get away from her perfume. The rubber band inside me, the one called Reina, was stretched all the way to its limits. I'm pretty sure I'd explode if I go crazy if the rubber band broke. I didn't want to feel like that way inside my own house. My house was supposed to be the place where I could open my heart freely. I ran away. I ran away from there. I ran further and further away because there was no longer a place I belonged.
It's not that I had a destination in mind. I was just running away. I was running to escape to a place where I did belong. Didn't I decide to fight against that woman? Didn't I decide to fight against her either by myself or with my father? But then, once I saw her fake smile, a chill ran up my back. It was like I picked up a stone found on a carpet of bugs underneath it and put it back on the ground in a hurry. I rushed out of the house as fast as I could. Did I want to fight or did I want to run away? Was I just choosing to spend a peaceful time at my hideout, believing tomorrow would be the same as today? No, I couldn't do that. I didn't know what would spring the trap. I couldn't afford to waste any time. I knew that deep down, and I knew that, but I just wanted to run away. I couldn't stop myself from running away, and so I did. I ran away. At times like this, the mattress in my hideout would feel so soft. That I knew. The cries of the Higurashi were shooting into my ears. They sounded as soft as my mattress. They were like music. They didn't force any feelings upon me. They cried as if to tell me just to be who I am. It was always so quiet here, and I immediately noticed the purr of an engine coming closer. People used to come here and make a lot of noise during the dam conflict, but now nobody really comes here. This place is forgotten. So it was rare to see somebody come through here at all. I sat at the roof of the abandoned car and waited for the intruder to go away without looking their way. But the purr of the engine stopped. I'm not stupid. If it stopped, I knew exactly who it had to be. I heard a person calling me, but I ignored it. The person came closer, making it harder for me to ignore her. She called my name again, and I turned around this time. Mina-san! Reina-chan! Are you hard of hearing? I'm sorry. I guess I couldn't hear you because of the wind. She seemed to buy my poor excuse. She smiled and said, yeah, that happens sometimes. Are you here alone? Where's your friend? I'm playing here alone. Well, it's rare for a girl your age to play alone. Rina-san stretched and looked across the huge garbage dump. I can't believe people throw so much crap out here. Do you know there used to be a place where people threw tons of abandoned cars without wheels? It was near Hirosaka. I wasn't really interested in Rina-san's old story, but I pretended to listen and nod. She doesn't take this road to go back to Okinomiya. I guess she knew I'd be here and came to see me. But what did she want? It was obvious that she was just trying to make conversation. She probably took it personally when I avoided her earlier, which must be why she was here to butter me up. It would be better for her not to have any conflicts with her daughter or the man she's seeing, no matter what the intention of seeing him was. In that sense, it was all reasonable action for her to take. While I listened to her old story, all I could think about was when she was going to leave. Didn't I have to fight against her? Didn't I decide to fight against her? Didn't I find out her plot at the coffee house in Okinomiya? Didn't I find out that this woman is squeezing money out of my father when I looked inside his cash box? I know who you are. Please leave my father alone. How easy it would be if those 2 sentences could solve the problem. She'd probably deny it. Even if I told her about what I heard at the coffee house, I have no evidence to her plot. But if she said she did it because the vulgar man was threatening her, there would be nothing I could do. But I know this woman is a bad person. I know something horrible will happen in the near future if I waste time like this. Harusu, welcome in. You had Hurdy? Yeah, go sleep. Go sleep. A strange, tense feeling started coming over me, but I didn't know how to let it out. As the feeling started running high, I became unable to stand there in the smell of her perfume. I wanted to put a certain distance between me and her, so I climbed down the slope of the scrap heap. I kept going down and down, the slopes of the garbage dump. When I turned around, I saw her coming down as well, muttering. Was she following me? In order to run away from her, I started running down the slope all the way to the bottom, went around behind some trash piles, and arrived at the front of my hideout. My escape was meaningless. Not only was she going to catch up to me eventually, all I did was let her know the way to my hideout that nobody was supposed to know about. I wanted to make sure she never saw my precious hideout. I was about to leave, but then she appeared.
Wow. This is cool. It's like a secret base.
This is my secret hideout. Nobody comes here. Nobody can hear us. I felt strange hearing myself say that.
So, this is your secret hideout, huh? I'm honored to be invited here.
She must have thought I told her my secret because she was worth sharing it. She looked happy. She found the station wagon, looked inside of it through the window, and went ooh and ah excitedly. This is a secret place that nobody else knows. I felt like my consciousness was separating from my body, like I was floating.
Oops.
But it didn't feel good. Like when I drink amazake. It was more like being carsick. I felt like I was going to throw up. My brain was probably secreting some chemical in order to avoid facing the reality that I'd have to stay with this woman, that I couldn't run away from her. But even if my brain tried to avoid recognizing it, the reality in front of me wouldn't change.
Reina-chan,
Yeah?
what's wrong?
You feeling okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I inhaled fresh air, and I pulled my consciousness back to reality. I didn't feel like throwing up anymore, but I still felt off balance. I leaned onto the scrap of garbage to keep my balance. You know, I like you, Reina-chan. Do you like me? What are you talking about all of a sudden? I said that because I didn't want to say it like I said that to her.
Well, I've been seeing your father for quite a long time now, and, we've been talking about a lot of things,
I needed to stop feeling like this. Get up, Reina! I had heard something like this before. A part of me was trying to understand what this woman was trying to say, but another part of me was trying not to. I felt as if her words were bouncing around in my head, and I started having a headache.
We had a serious talk about our future the other day. About our life together, and so on.
What? You like Uncle Akihiro, don't you, Reina? So your father and I are... What's going on? Mother? What are you thinking about, Reina Ryugyu? This is an important moment. You're about to have a one-on-one battle with Reina-san. No, Mom, what about Dad? What about me? I don't want to divorce him. I don't want you to get remarried to somebody else. No. Please don't divorce him. I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you get remarried. I'm not going to let you get married to my father.
Huh?
What? I don't care if you go out with him, but I'm not going to let you get married to him. She must have not thought that I'd say it so straight out like that. She looked stunned. After a while, she broke the silence with her laughter.
I thought you might reject me, but I didn't think you'd say it straight out like that.
You thought I might reject you? I'm surprised you even noticed that I was doing it.
Of course I did. You're always running away whenever you see me. You thought I didn't know? That's why I hate kids. She frowned, revealing her ugly self.
I should have been the first time I saw her face like that, but it wasn't surprising at all. Her face had looked like it'd be to me from the beginning.
I wanted to get along with you if I could, at least, on the surface, but I guess it's hard to do that now since You hate me so much. What do you hate about me? I'd like to know for future reference.
Everything. I hate everything about you. I hate your smell, too.
One vicious word came out of my mouth after another. I didn't have wings, but I felt as if I was flying up into the sky. Oh my god, I keep clicking. It felt weird and uncomfortable, but also exhilarated. I felt as if she was letting another me use my body. I was in the middle of a disastrous battlefield, but I felt like it wasn't even my business. Well, that's just fine with me, because, I hate you too. So I guess we're even. You little fucking brat. You better shut your fucking mouth, or I'll make you.
Never come to my house again.
I'll never let you get married to my father. I don't need your permission, Well, why don't you try and stop your father from remarrying me? Let's just see what happens. I think you're wasting your time, though. She didn't look intimidated by me at all, and that made me feel a little intimidated in return. Why was she so confident about her absolute control over my father? She had to have more than confidence to be able to act as fearless as this. She must have something tangible. Before I asked her what it was, she told me herself. I'm pregnant.
You're lying!
I'm not lying. It's true.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's just a big lie.
She has to divorce because she got pregnant. She has to get married because she got pregnant. That's a lie. It's just a lie. Well, I'm a Christian, so I can't get an abortion. He'll just have to accept it. Plus, we had sex with marriage in mind. He made me pregnant. If he changes his mind, it takes no responsibility. It's going to be a big mess,
That was your plan, wasn't it? I overheard it. I heard the conversation you had with that Tachan at the coffee house. I know you started seeing my father for his money. I know you call him your husband in Hinamizawa. I know he's just a big catch for you. I know everything because I heard it from Kasai-san. I know you do Badger games too.
Oh? You knew? Well.
Before I knew it, Rina was standing right in front of me. We glared at each other with our faces almost touching.
So, Reina-chan, you know everything. And what are you thinking you're gonna do?
Don't come near my father ever again.
What if I refuse?
You wanted to talk to me at your secret hideout, right?
I know. I kind of knew what you wanted to talk to me about. You brought me to your secret hideout where nobody knows and nobody can hear us, right?
Yeah, you're right. Nobody knows about this place and nobody can hear us here. Nobody comes here because it's a place of the forgotten.
Our faces were so close to each other that our noses could almost touch. I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't know what would happen next. I couldn't back down now that I'd come to this point, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what I should do. Come on, let's not do this. Let's just be friends again. Rina started laughing and slapped me on the back. My expression didn't change. I kept staring at Rina. But I didn't notice her real intention of putting both arms around my neck. The tension broke, already stretched thin, and Rina squeezed my neck hard. I was openly hostile, but I didn't realize Rina's evil intentions until she started choking me. You little brat. I'm so close to getting millions of yen. If you at least pretended to get along with me, I would have given you a good allowance. You just had to keep your fucking mouth shut, can you? You got some fucking nerve. Brat like you should die.
I tried to pry her hands off my neck, but I didn't have the strength.
I didn't want to kill you, but probably never get this big of a catch as your father again. So I don't mind killing you for millions of yen. I was gonna disappear after I got the money anyway. This is what you get for talking back to me.
The world around me got darker and darker. I had never known an evil intention like this. Namely, the intention to kill me. It didn't scare me, though. That's because being scared is the feeling that people used to express when they feel they would see wildfire on the other side of a river. People on the island with the wildfire, with their deaths right in front of them, they don't get scared. If I loosened my grip on her hands even a little bit, she'd crush my throat. This was simple competition to see who was stronger. Rena wanted to get in the most advantageous position, so she tried to push me down to the ground so she could mount me. Oh my god, sorry, hold on. Let me get a drink. Hi, Muffin, welcome in.
Why can't the people of Hinamizaki keep it in their pants? It's kind of like the whole, you got nothing better to do in a small town, might as well have sex and have kids. I think that's the energy I get from this. Take a nap, get ready for lesson? Hell yeah. Good shit, we love naps. Oh, anyway.
I tried to keep my current position, but I was losing a lot of energy from being choked. It was only a matter of time before Rena could push me down. I lost my balance on purpose. I tried to fall backwards in order to pull her off my balance, but I couldn't hold my breath long enough to keep up the strength competition, so I had no choice but to take that chance. We fell on the ground, tangled together. But as Rena was strongly determined to kill me, she didn't even take her hands away from my neck after she fell. However, my action made Rena loosen her grip on my throat. It wasn't loose enough for me to break free from her grip, but it gave me a few moments to use my hands for something other than stopping her from crushing my throat. If I hadn't taken the chance, I wouldn't have been done for. That's why I tried to literally seize my chance. I moved both my hands on the ground to seize that chance. I felt a piece of broken glass in my right hand. That was truly my chance to literally save myself from the brink of death. I cut Rena's wrist deep with that piece of glass. Rena tried to endure the pain for a few seconds, but the pain was severe for someone so concerned she broke her will. She broken her will. She let go of my throat to cling to her bloody wrist. I used that moment to roll away from her. It fucking hurts. She screamed, both in pain and also to try and intimidate me again. It didn't work anymore, though. Intimidation only works on the opponent when the opponent is hesitant to fight. When you are already in a fight, screaming like that means nothing more than letting your opponent know how badly you are hurt. I no longer had any hesitation. I had learned from Rena. She taught me that I have to do the situation like this. That's right. This is my secret hideout. I know every single piece of junk in here. Maybe I knew that day like this was coming. Was it just a coincidence that I was here? I pulled out the meter-long lead pipe, not at all surprised to see it there. I raised it up high and brought it down. There is no way Rena could block this hard and heavy pipe with just her arms. She probably tried to block it with the palms of her hands in order to take it from me. But her long nails wouldn't let that happen. Unable to catch it the way she wanted, she broke her fingers and some of her nails came off too. Her scream made me realize that I had the advantage. An advantage I would have to keep. If I didn't, she'd turn the tables just like I did. And then she'd choke me to death for sure. Stop! Stop it! Wait! Rena shielded her head with her arms, but it didn't help. all that would change is that I break her arms before I broke her face. I'm serious. Stop it now. I'm serious too. Die. 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 You should just die. Yes, that's right. I should have done this a long time ago. I didn't need proof. I didn't have to talk to anybody. That's so stupid. That's such nonsense. I should have done this a long time ago. If I had done it a long time ago, my father wouldn't have been deceived. I could have protected him. I could have protected my family. I could have protected my life. I could have been myself. My mother wouldn't have had to divorce my father. I could have stayed happy. I would have had to been unhappy. I'm gonna recapture my happiness. At this moment, I'm going to win back my happiness. I'm not going to cry for misfortune. I'm not going to give in to the fate of unhappiness. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to seize my happiness right now with my own 2 hands. Rena tried to run away from me, but as she no longer had the use of her hands, it made it difficult for her to stand up to escape, especially since there were scraps of junk everywhere on the ground. After all, this is my hideout. This is my territory. Nobody can run away from me here. She tried to climb up the slope of the garbage, slipped, fell, and rolled all the way back down. She didn't stand up or move. Her eyes were open, and her neck was bent at an unnatural angle. I didn't know how to make sure she was dead, so I just kept looking at her opened eyes for a while. She could be faking it for all I know. But she didn't close her eyes no matter how long I waited. I scooped up a handful of sand and threw it on her face. She still didn't close her eyes. Thud. The lead pipe slipped out of my hand and hit the ground. When I tried to pick it up, I realized how heavy it was, and I was surprised that I was wielding it as though it were a knife. I was sweating all over. The cold wind felt good on my skin. The cries of the Higurashi were calming me down and healing my soul. Rena was just like a broken dummy now. She had become just a piece of junk. And I'm the owner of the land of junk, and I've defended it from her intrusion. Now, she was a resident of the junkyard. I didn't feel bad about killing her. In fact, I felt rather fulfilled that I had defeated the evil woman who had deceived my father. I started breathing slowly and calmly, and I regained enough energy to analyze the situation. I'd have to hide her body. First, I had to get rid of her scooter. I climbed up the slope and kicked her scooter down the hill. It rolled down the slope, making a lot of noise, and then bundled in with all the junk as it stopped, like it was there from the beginning. I went back down the slope and started dragging her body to my hideout. It should have taken as much effort as dragging a 50-pound, really heavy sandbag, but it felt lighter than that. It was just a sandbag, yet it brought disaster to my family. I didn't lure her here in order to kill her. Or did I? Maybe I just didn't notice that I had the intention deep down in my heart. Even so, I felt like this was the best and most expedient solution. There was no better solution than killing her. How wasteful to depend on someone to help me, to wait for the day to come when they will. I remember the murder of Satoshi-kun's aunt that happened last year. I had no doubt that Satoshi-kun was the one that murdered her. But I'd never been as convinced as I am right now in this moment. How could he have saved Satoko-chan other than by killing the aunt last year? At this time? In that circumstance? My situation was much the same as his. How could I have saved my father other than by killing her? If I was planning a murder, it would have been under a lot of pressure and stress. But for better or for worse, the moment came to me out of nowhere. And that's why I believe I solved my problem as little trouble as possible. Now that she's gone, will anyone become suspicious of her disappearance? She was an irresponsible person who skipped work at her own convenience. So I didn't think anybody would get suspicious if she disappeared today. She was a big mess from the start. People will think she went into hiding because she got in some deep trouble with somebody. I didn't need to fabricate an alibi. All I needed to do was get rid of her body. It took me a while to figure out how to do that last part. Hiding her body would be risky. But my brain became so calm that I did some calculations and came up with the answer right away. Yes, this place is still the safest. This is a place forgotten. Nobody comes here. Nobody knows this place. I knew that because I was spending a lot of time here. Compared to taking the risk of carrying her body to some other place, it was just a lot safer to hide it here. But it wasn't perfect yet. This place wouldn't remain a secret forever. I could hide it here for now, but I'd have to come up with some perfect way to make it completely disappear. It's a lot easier to think about that when I'm thinking about how to make Rena break up with my father. I stuffed her corpse into a broken refrigerator in a trash pile. I wanted to cover up the refrigerator with dirt and bury it. But that was too easy. I had to chop the corpse into pieces to make them completely disappear. I felt like it got dark all of a sudden. No, it didn't get dark all of a sudden. I just didn't realize it was getting dark until just then. I could hear thunder in the distance. It might rain soon. I could use some rain. It had washed Rena's dirty blood off into the ground. I should go home. I should think about what I'd do tomorrow. I was going to stay right beside my father until he forgets about her. He might be hurt at first, but we're going to recapture our happiness for sure. Our happy, peaceful life. My body was heavy with exhaustion, but I also felt so fulfilled because I took a very important first step today. I'll keep taking one step after another. I'm not going to cry anymore. I'm not going to cry until I win back my happiness. I'm not going to cry again. Ready to be like, seize your happiness. Heart emoji. Oh my god. Rena is completely different from how Keiichi. She's so much calmer. She's so much more calculated. Yeah, no. Seeing these other ones, it really puts into perspective how paranoid Keiichi was. I think he's the only one that got the paranoia, honestly. I'm sorry, she did what? She chopped it up so it fit in the fridge better. She's way more scared of the cage. Yeah. Anyone tell you you'd be a good VA? Nah. Not just you guys. I do really like it. I feel like I was doing really good with that one. That was a cinematic performance. Yes, fuck yes. Oh. Yeah, that one felt really good. That long paragraph about her beating her brains in. That felt good. Yeah, I felt like I nailed that a little bit. It's hard because, like, I feel in the other books, like, I would just use my voice for Keiichi, so it was a little bit easier. But it's like trying to be in character as Reina and also voice act. I get why these guys, like, they're so good at it, you know? Some of Keishi's paranoia was normal. Some, or a little bit, you know? She's a lot calmer, yeah. She's got that feminine rage. I think that's what it is. Like, girls would definitely be able to get away with murder more easy than a guy. That felt good. The line, right? Not the bashing her. Yeah, the line, reading the lines, right? Not you pretending to bash someone's skull in, right? Right? Teehee, seize happiness, guys. Seize your happiness. I feel like that's gonna be the new inside joke. Anytime I want to kill somebody, I'm just gonna go, guys, maybe I should seize my happiness. Drink water. Oh yeah. Hold on, no, I actually cracked open an energy drink. I might regret it later, but I cracked open a mini. It's a mini one. A mini Alani. So there's less caffeine in it. But yeah, after I drink this, I'm definitely gonna get some more water. I think I only had like
40 ounces today. I think I'm supposed to have like 80, so I'm only like halfway through what I'm supposed to drink. Seize your happiness, queen. Fuck yeah. Oh, Red Bull? No, Alani. Alani. I don't like Red Bull. I don't know. It's not for me. I like Alani's. Mostly because, like, they only have, like... I think the most calories an Alani has is, like, 15. And it gives you, like, a lot of natural caffeine. No sugars in it, so... It's so good. Like, I'm so happy I found these drinks. Like... I think it was, like... Because it was the sugar that, like, really fucked me up. Better than sparkling ice. Are you mad at the drink or at the name? The name, okay. Besane. Yeah, no, I ran out of... I think I have one sparkling ice in there. Either have one more or they're gone. Rippin' pasta. Yeah. I have a bunch of cold brew coffee, though. So that'll probably be what I make tomorrow morning before I go to work. I always like having an energy drink with me at work because it's like it does smack you in the face that like 2 p.m. like, oh, you're done with lunch, oh, you're really zoning out now, you know what I mean? Oh god. Okay, good intermission. Let's see if we can't finish this chapter, huh? Don't be basics. It's not too cold. It's been getting better. Like today when I woke up, it was only -16. So it's getting warmer, yeah. Sam is such an inspiration. How much you'd work to secure peace. Oh god, guys. Anyway.
You don't need to get remarried. That was the first thing I said after I got home. My father looked stunned. He noticed the sad tone in my voice and realized that I didn't agree with the idea of his remarriage. He looked down. Understand? I know how you feel, Reina. I should have talked to you about it with you first, and... That woman is lying to you about her pregnancy! Oh, don't talk like that. Rina-san is... I'll tell you the truth. That woman and that guy called Techan are a team of bad people. She went out with you only because she was trying to get your money. My father didn't get it right away, of course. He looked upset instead because I called her that woman. I should have chosen my words a little more carefully, but I think I told him the truly clearly enough. I told him everything I heard and I saw at the coffee house. As I expected, he defended Rina right away. I was upset, but at the same time it made me certain that there was no other way to kill her. I felt the pressure on my shoulders lessen for some reason. My father thought he needed my approval for his remarriage, so he held back his anger and put a fake smile on his face instead. Hey, Rina, let's sit down with a cup of tea and talk. I'm sure you'll understand once you hear me out. A tamed animal is still tamed, even after that owner is dead. That's okay. I'll open the gate anyway. Even a tamed animal will notice one day that he's no longer in captivity. That's not something I could teach him. He had to realize it on his own. I couldn't stand his fake smile anymore, so I left the living room. Time healed the pain from the divorce. Time heals any kind of pain, just like how dripping water will eventually bore a hole through solid rock. I did what I could do. Now I'd have to wait. But the day I was going to wait for came earlier than I expected. At midnight of the following day, we had a visitor. It was that Techan man, Teppei Hojo. Teppei didn't even knock on the door to get in. He broke into the house by smashing a window. At first I thought he came here to ask us about Rina's whereabouts, but I was wrong. The real reason Teppei had came here was because it was their plan. It was the last stage of their badger game. Rina was probably supposed to be in bed with my father at that time tonight. Teppei must have wanted to show up and catch them sleeping together. Teppei looked around the house, but he couldn't find Rina. He didn't change the plan, though. He grabbed my father by his collar and started yelling threats. He showed my father a certificate of marriage to Rena, and he shouted at him saying, "You got my wife pregnant. How are you going to take responsibility?" My father had no idea she was married. He looked shocked. My father is a short guy who's faint of heart. He just let Tepe do whatever he wanted from the beginning to the end. I looked at them from a distance coldly. The more Tepe yelled and threatened my father, the faster he'd wake up from this bad dream. This was medicine for him. Tepe was cutting out the cancer that I was going to depend on time to do so, and he was doing a great job of it. I waited to help my father until I was sure that he had finally awakened from his bad dream. I told Tepe that I had something very important to tell him and took him outside.
So what do you want?
Has Rina-san come back to Okinomiya since yesterday?
Huh?
As a matter of fact, I think she's hiding somewhere.
What? I don't get it.
Well, Rina-san told me to take you to tell her when he came to my house.
Huh? The fuck was Sko thinking?
Tepe followed me without hesitation. We walked into the dark with a flashlight, to the place where nobody comes and nobody can hear us, the place forgotten. He asked me many things on the way, but I couldn't answer any of them. I just told him to ask Rena. The way I said it seemed to make him think that Rena was going to betray him and get married to my father for real. Even though he was breathing heavily in rage, he walked right behind me without suspicion. I knew this day was going to come very soon, so I was well prepared for it. We reached the place where I had originally planned to bring him, and I turned off the flashlight suddenly.
Oh, what's going on?
Everyone gets nervous when the only light in the dark goes off. But this is my territory. I didn't need any light. I could feel my surroundings even better with my eyes closed. I grabbed the big hatchet I'd hidden in the bush and lifted it up high. I'm sorry, I guess the battery went out. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, hurry up.
I purposely sounded weak and helpless, while I raised the hatchet into the air.
Oh, I got a lighter. I'll just fire this baby up.
Tepe found a lighter in his pocket and lit it up. He probably couldn't understand the sight illuminated by such a small light. He saw a girl lifting up a big hatchet right in front of him. Tepe's eyes went wide. He didn't understand what was going on, but he understood that his life was in danger. And yet, he must not have been able to think fast enough to deal with, even though he understood what he should do. Even if he could think fast enough and blocked it with his head with his arms, it wouldn't have meant anything. I knew Tepe would come to my house eventually. That's why I prepared for that day. I just didn't think that preparation was going to bear fruit tonight. I chose my weapon very carefully. I planned when, where, and how I was going to attack him. And so, there can only be one result. The hatchet cut deeply into his forehead. I felt an indescribable vibration throughout the hatchet when it hit him. This told me that I broke his skull. He bragged about how good he was at fighting in the coffee house, but he sure went down quickly, even when first with a murderous weapon. He was done in by a single blow. Tepe slowly fell to his side with the hatchet in his forehead. He looked like a victim in a B movie. I killed this big guy with just one hatchet. He was probably quite experienced in the world of violence, but I was better than him when it came to killing. Why? Well, it's because I killed someone before. It's all done now. The bad people who deceived my father and tried to rob him blind are all gone. I did what I had to do in order to protect my life. If I had had this much courage and determination when my mom told me about the divorce, I might have killed Akihito. And if I did, I would have taken the life of the only one. Because I couldn't do it back then. I've had to kill 2 people in the last 2 days. Reina, let's finish this up. There's already a place to hide his body. I took care of everything. My hands were wet, so I showed the flashlight on him. I thought it was blood, but it was just sweat. Even so, it still felt uncomfortable, and shone the flashlight at my hands several times. I did this all in order to be happy. I did all this so I should be happy now. I tried so hard that I got blood on my hands. I wanted to get credit for that from him. Yashiro-sama, let me ask you a question. I can finally rewind the time back to the day everything started to go wrong, can't I? I'm gonna stay in Hinamizawa. I'm going to live happily with my father forever.
Oh, it's rare to see Reina sleeping in class. She isn't the kind of girl who sleeps in class because she's up staying so late. She had to be tired from doing housework or something. Everybody seemed to be thinking the same thing. Nobody tried to wake her up. Not even Chie-sensei. She got up for a few seconds and went right back to sleep. She swayed back and forth like she was rowing a boat. But she's in class. Should I, wake her up, right? Hi, Scum. Welcome in. Gotta go. Alright, bye, Muffin. Have fun at Japanese class. I was about to wake her up, but before my hand touched her, Mion gave me a sign not to. Let her sleep. She must be really tired today. You're right. I heard a few days ago that Reina lives with her father. She studies during the day, plays a lot after school, does things around the house even after that. I didn't know that. I also didn't know her mother had divorced her father. Mion told me that. She was also told me not to talk about it because Reina was still very hurt by the divorce. What's this game about? This is a visual novel called Higurashi. If you genuinely don't know what Higurashi is about, how do we phrase this? Higurashi is a book series about this group of friends living in a small, isolated town of Hinamizawa. You know, Higurashi, just leave! Well, I don't want to say it like that. You're very welcome to stay. I do love it when everyone hangs out. But this is indeed, the fifth book in this series. So, you might get a little confuzzled, I won't lie. But, if you're down to just vibe, fuck yeah. And if you generally don't know what this series is about, oh man, is this a good book to jump into. My god. This is one hell of a ride to be in this arc. It's about sunshines and rainbows, nothing bad happening. Typical slice of life. Yeah. Typical slice of life bullshit. Yeah. Nothing weird happened. You know what? Scum? Actually, I take it all back. I want you to hang out for the rest of this chapter. Whatever happens, let's see if anything happens. Guys, you think they're gonna revisit what we just did? Anyway. I didn't even notice that she's been through such a tough time. Reina's the kind of girl who doesn't show her pain to others. She always looks happy and cheerful, but she might be acting that way on purpose. Reina told me that happy days will one day come to an end. She told me that she knew that firsthand. Wonder what else she's been through. I just had no idea. That's probably why she tried to spend as much time as peacefully and as cheerfully as she could. Must have hurt her feelings when I said I was bored with these happy days. When I thought about it, I felt bad for living off my parents, who were both healthy and happy. For that matter, Satoko and Rika-chan lost their parents too. Mion lives with her grandmother away from her parents because she needs to learn to be the head of the Sonozaki family in the future. So when I realized all that, I kind of felt bad about my situation. You don't have to feel bad about living with your parents. Mion seemed to have to read in my mind. She said it with a cool expression on her face. A family's the most common community for kids for us to live in. But it's not the only community we have. You mean friends? You're right. Do you think we're as good as a family to Reina? Reina does cleaning, laundry, cooking, and shopping, so she must be pretty tired every day. She could spend her afternoon taking naps. But she doesn't do that. She spends her afternoons playing with us. And that means... wait, how should I put it? So you're saying we're friends with as much value as family to her? Mion looked stunned, as if she didn't understand what I was talking about. I didn't know what friends meant for you until today. But I believe friends are just as important and as valuable as family. It's actually very easy to understand. Rika-chan joined our conversation. The important thing is to have people around who you can feel comfortable. Sometimes they call you family, or sometimes you call them friends. It's just a matter of the word you use. Are friends the same as family to you, Rika-chan? Yeah, they are. I believe that are Satoko, me, and Rina-san too. I guess that's why we're always trying to stay together. Do you ever feel lonely when you're not with your friends? They're my family, so I'm not lonely. Mio nodded in agreement. Satoko was talking with her other classmates, but I'm sure she would nod as well. Rina would too. I'm a little embarrassed. Why? Well, I've been using the word friends, but I don't think I understood the true meaning until today. Friends are more important and irreplaceable than I thought they were. That's like common sense. So, should you take this opportunity to remember that? Yeah, I will. I also recommend that you don't say that again. Kei-chan, you just said something very embarrassing, you know? After all that, Mion still made fun of me. I think I understand a little better why Reina was always so serious about having fun. I want to be your best friend, and I want to do my best to be deserving of that effort. Reina snored. It sounded cute. Chie-sensei let her sleep in class, but she couldn't let her get away with snoring. Class president, wake her up, would you? Reina, get up. Reina was still half asleep and made a strange noise to everybody in class, and they laughed. Reina noticed they were laughing at her, woke up right away and acted like she wasn't sleeping at all. It looked really funny, and I burst into a fit of laughter. Outside the window, the sky was blue and the clouds were pure white. It was still June, but it looked like the middle of summer. This perfect weather wouldn't last forever. It could get cloudy and just rain all of a sudden. That's why we had to play and raise a ruckus while we still had this perfect weather. The cries of the cicadas sound as if they're laughing at us because they still have some classes left. Damn. I can't wait for school to finish.
Keiichi-kun, you look very happy. Did something special happen today?
Nah, nothing. Today's today, tomorrow's tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I'm just happy that we have perfect weather today. I don't care about the weather tomorrow. I want to enjoy today as much as I can. When the weather changes, I don't want to regret that I didn't. I learned that from Reina. I learned that peaceful days are the happiest days when you can have that and they're irreplaceable. Mion, what are we going to do for club activity? We need something exciting for the punishment too. That's the spirit I like, Kei-chan. Because you insist, I'll put through a living hell.
Keiichi-kun, don't provoke her too much.
Oops, I keep clicking the wrong button. Oh shit. You scared, Reina? I know you're better than that. Come on, let's show her the true power again. Remember, we haven't brought an end to our last battle. I grinned at her and she grinned back.
I do remember that. Okay, let's do it then. Reina-san, you certainly got me last time. For that, I must pay you back with interest.
This is getting very interesting. It's gonna be a blast.
I can't wait for school to finish.
I couldn't wait either, but the time we spent just talking together is also very precious. Yeah. It would be nice if school ended soon. The achievement collateral. You found an easy solution to the big problem. Well, shit. I'm sorry, Scum. I was hoping we'd revisit what happened. I feel like if you just scroll back, like in the VOD, like, I don't know, 10, 20 minutes, you'll see what we were doing right before that scene in the book. Anyway. Oh god, Scum literally missed the fun part. They kinda did. Why I sound like Lois? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do different voices for everyone. I felt like I tried to do what I remember them sounding like in the anime. Of course, I'm not 5 different people, and I'm also not a man, so, you know, there's only so much I can do with my not a professional voice acting skills. I do my best. The end. Next. Yeah, you wish, Jose. We're not even halfway through this one. It's typical generic slice of life. It's true. Nah, you good. Peak voice acting. Thanks. Yeah, I know. I did some good work earlier. Like when we were in the junkyard. Yeah. That was good. Seize your happiness, guys. I thought this was official up. Aw, Scum. Aw. Aw, thanks, man. But yeah, no, Jose, honey, baby doll, we're not even halfway. You're not a man with a voice changer. Well, there goes my immersion. Right, I forget. Sorry, every VTuber is a 50-year-old man with a voice changer. You're so right, King. I'll be real. I didn't expect that to happen in chapter 5. I'm not kidding when I'm saying there's 12 or 13 chapters. I didn't expect us to have 2 murders done. Fuck, guys, we're not even to the Watanagashi yet. 2 more people gotta go. I just realized that this wasn't even Watanagashi. Shit. Shit. Holy fuck. 7-year-old tall person. Oh my god. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming hang out with me for book club. There's going to be a lot of book clubs this week just because I'm kind of in a reading mood. You know, I was kind of feeling bad we hadn't done Higurashi as consistently as we had in the past, so I'm making up for having a whole week of streams for it. This might be before. It is the before. That's why I'm freaking out. Thank you for the stream. Yeah, thank you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out for book club. Yeah. And yes, this is before the festival. That's why I'm so scared. You're welcome, bro. Now go tell Kita to stream. Oh, go tell Kia to stream. Well, I'm not her mom. She can do what she wants. Does she even have anything scheduled today? I feel like she doesn't, right? She doesn't usually stream on Mondays. But I don't know. I'm a fake fan. So, I don't know. But yeah, guys. Hi, Raven. Sorry, bad timing. We're about to go. She does? Oh, good shit. There you go. Go watch Kia's stream. Is she? Wait. When is she going live? Hold on. Let's go be nosy. Hold on. Oh, she does stream. What time? Holy fuck, I gotta figure out how to read this. Nope, give me a sec. Oh, she isn't gonna go live for like an hour. 50 minutes, technically, but yeah. Everyone could go watch Key's stream when she goes live. But your mommy? Am I mommy? My mommy. Oh, poor baby. Alright. Alright, chat. See you in like 2 months. Oh my, she's fuck right. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow for the next chapter of Higurashi. If I don't see you in the next one, I will see you when I see you. Alright, okay. Okay. Everyone have a good night, good evening. Veil guards, you are dismissed. Bye-bye.